Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to Fem Tarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader. How's everyone doing? It's been a very difficult week, especially for some of you Femmies, some of you who are following this channel, who are part of this growing and beautiful community that I'm very, very proud of. Those of you in LA, in California, prayers to you, thoughts, prayers, love, and light to you. The whole world is watching, the whole world is with you. And ignore those idiots that keep commenting on social media about karma and whatnot, which I find ridiculous. Ridiculous. You cannot compare what's happening in the Middle East to what's happening to California, to LA, two different things. But obviously, this world is riddled with trolls, especially the social media. I hope everyone's doing well. I have been in touch with some of you who are in LA. Luckily, you're all safe. Luckily, since yesterday and Friday, when I was in touch with you guys, luckily, a lot of you, your homes hadn't been affected. They were intact, and I'm praying it remains that way. And lots of love to you, Norma, Darlene, Lady Rivera. You're all in the LA area. So my mind and thoughts are with you. Really, they are. Now, before we get to the predictions, a few things about the LA fires, because a lot of you have been asking me, and there are a lot of, again, I'm not going to call them conspiracy theories. There are a lot of rumors going around about the fires and what exactly caused it, the timing of it all. Why were there like 5 fires at the same time? I mentioned this before. I did talk about it on my members live on Friday. If you're not a member yet, well, maybe you should consider becoming a member, because that is the corner of YouTube where I'm uncensored, unfiltered, and we talk about everything openly. I give out lightning tarot readings, which is what I did on Friday, which people love and are really helpful. And the way to do that, in case you don't know, it's underneath any one of my videos, including this one, from your PC, from your computer. There is a join button. You just click on that, and then it will prompt you to the next steps. And then welcome to the membership. Welcome to the family. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the LA fires, because obviously this is huge, 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 huge. In my opinion, okay, let me just a disclaimer in general. I do believe in climate change, because there is the earth is warming up. But on the other hand, these weather patterns are cyclical. And there are times when, it's more of like the ice age or ice season. Then you have more of like the warmer climates. It's all cyclical. It all goes, there is a whole pattern. But obviously, us human beings have not been respecting and haven't been treating Mother Earth, Gaia, in the way that she deserves. So obviously, a lot of other things are more amplified because of us humans. But I do not believe that the LA fires were caused because of climate change. Okay, yeah, it would have been different if it was just one fire, and you would say, okay, someone was reckless, someone was camping or someone was burning something and it was really windy, Santa Ana winds, etc. But I did connect my guides while all this was going on, and I got these. So I'll just share with you. First of all, it does seem that it was, well, I got that it was deliberate. This was deliberate, and the location as well, the points where it all started was 100% deliberate. The other thing is, this was, I think the fire started on Tuesday. Time is blurred. I think the fire started on Tuesday afternoon. Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone? I can't see the chat right now, but I will in a minute. So, and what my guide showed me, I connected Wednesday, so the day after, all this. And they showed me 7 days. They said 7 days. So I assumed it was 7 days from the moment the fire started, or it could have been 7 days from the day that I connected. Nonetheless, I think today is day 6. Tomorrow is day 7, I think, or tomorrow is day 6 and the day after tomorrow. So a couple more days, and then they will be able to contain the Palisades fire, which is the only one I believe that is not yet contained. I think it's like at 11 or 12% containment. The other fires, they have been contained. So that's progress. That's good. The other thing that I'm worried about, though, and I have to mention it, is that I am afraid that as soon as they start, people go back and they start rebuilding their lives and their homes, I'm afraid there's going to be another fire. There's going to be another deliberate fire. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do I have? Okay. Before we get to the predictions, a few more things. Yesterday, was it yesterday? What's the date today? You know me, I'm just lost track. Today's the 12th. Yesterday, the 11th. What happened was, astrologically speaking, is that the north node went into Pisces, meaning that south node is in Virgo. What does that mean? Think about the nodes. The north node is the path that you're on, why you're here, right? What is your karma? What are the lessons that you have to learn in this life right now? South node is past lives. It is past karma. Now, and with the nodes in Pisces and the South node in Virgo, it means that we have a lot of work to do for the next 18 months, because they're going to remain in those nodes for the next 18 months, which means the whole of 2025. Now, what does that mean? And this is part of my predictions. And then I will look at the chat and just say hello, because as you know, that's what I do before we get into everything. But before I go on and before I forget, don't forget, because you guys forget too, but don't forget to give me a thumbs up and do subscribe if you're new here. Let's feed the algorithm gods of YouTube their nectar, which is likes, comments, all of it, just engagement overall. So I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Let's help this channel grow a little bit more. It's sort of like a niche. My channel is sort of niche according to YouTube, so they don't really push my videos out. So, but if they see engagement and they see that people like this channel and the videos, then my videos will be pushed out to more people. All right, back to what I was saying. So what does this mean with North nodes and Pisces? It means that we are ascending. Really, if I could. And I have a lot of predictions for you. And this is just part one. So if I could sort of like define or give 2025 a tagline, just like housewives have one, I would say this is it is the purge. We've already, 2023, 24 was sort of like the years of the purging, but this is the great purge and the great awakening, right? And everything that's happening right now, it's purging. Now, and on a personal level, we will be purging. So what does that mean? It means that if you're unhappy in your relationship, for instance, or if with your partner, it means that you're out. You'll step out of that, not step out, you're actually leaving that relationship. Job-wise as well. If you're not happy in your career, in your job, if you feel that you're stuck, you're going to start taking action, even drastic action. With North Node in Pisces, though, it means that we're all ascending spiritually. Our vibration is rising, all right? And we are connecting more to the spiritual side of things and to our higher self and more to our spiritual side as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot more this year talk about faith, a lot of like spiritual leaders coming to the forefront, more and more people leaning more into their faith. So Also, if you are an intuitive, if you are an empath, if you have been doing a lot of spiritual work, it means that you are going to be very, very open to downloads, open to connecting to spirit, maybe even aliens. Maybe even aliens. I mean, if I could predict, if I would say that if we're going to have, like, close contact and they show up to the masses, to everyone, extraterrestrials, the next 18 months would be the time. All right, so this is what's happening currently. Let me look at the chat and let's get right to it. So I'm going to try and keep everything more structured. Usually my predictions are a little bit chaotic. Sorry, I know. I try to keep it. But today, what I'm going to be doing is I've categorized my predictions into sociopolitics, medicine, weather, environment, blah, blah, blah. And that's how we're going to do it. Then my lovely mod, intergalactic defender, what she's going to do is she's going to note down the timestamps. So after this live, I'm going to be adding the timestamps. So if there's something specific that you want to look into or listen to, then the timestamps will help. So we're getting more organized over here. A quick hello to all of the femmies, the people I love, the people who support me in this channel. Hello, Asa. Hello, Anna. It's so good to see you. I really look forward to these Sundays or these lives. Good. The fires are dying down. Good. So two more days before everything is under control and people are going to be able to go back and slowly but surely start rebuilding, if they go back. We'll get to that. Hello, Scorpio Moon. Hello. Happy Sunday from Texas. Jams in the house. EJC, haven't seen you in a while. Norma, of course, is here. Lots of love and prayers to you, my love. Ireland is in the house. Yay! Awesome. All right. Okay. Femme Village is open. Femme Village is open. And today we've got a family meeting because we need to see we need to peek into the future a little bit, or peek into the year and see what we are expecting. Don't worry, Norma. This is the last thing you should be worrying about right now, about the lightning readings and all that. They were amazing. It was a 2.5 hour live stream, and it was really amazing because a lot of people reached out to me after the lightning readings and they said how much they helped them and how much it gave them clarity. So I love doing these. I love giving these free readings out for you guys because I can see how much they help you, and I do understand that not everyone can afford to get a reading. Sometimes things happen. I understand, you guys. Absolutely. Hi, Sherry. Danny's in the house, of course. All my mods are here, so I'm very happy. And a big shout out to all the mods, you guys. Just send them some sparkly pink hearts because they deserve it. They deserve all the love. Eden Fire. So there were, okay, Eden Fire, it was a power line thing. We shall see. I'm just telling you what I got. So maybe one or two were not deliberate, but definitely the big ones, Palisades, was deliberate. But I you know what? I don't believe what the mainstream media says or the politicians do. To be honest, I believe in what I feel, I see, I receive, I download. And this is what I got from my guides, so that they were all deliberate. Yeah, it's a usual occurrence here because here, when there's a fire, I live in Greece. In Greece, we have a lot of fires. Fire season usually starts around April and ends around October, November, when it starts getting a little bit more humid. The ground is more wet. Because, as you know, Greece, we have big prolonged heat waves here. It's a disaster. So I'm used to the fires. I'm used to all that, to all this. So to the fires. I'm not, no one, how can you be used to the fires? But I'm used to, or I understand how fires work in a sense, because I usually follow, because as you know, I do volunteer work for animals. So usually when there's a fire, and if it's nearby, especially if it's not like in the north of Greece or very south of Greece, I normally go out and help with the animals, collect animals and bring them to shelters, etc. So I'm a little bit more familiar with fires, and I do know that because a lot of people were questioning, they were saying, how did a tree caught fire when the fire's not even close? Well, you will be surprised. Let me just say that a lot of these like mini fires, in this case, people got caught, but there are a lot of times mini fires occur because if you have, let's say, embers, or if you have like in Greece, you have pine cones, these like really just like explode with the heat, and then all these sparks can fly far away, especially when it's windy. So fire, it's not simple to understand how fires grow and expand, etc. It's a whole thing. Let's see, but I don't want to focus too much on the fires because we have so many other things. Wow, wait, used to be called Satanus, which hmm, interesting, interesting. Okay, okay. All right, so I can't read everything that you guys are saying, but are you ready? So I just want to recap a little bit what I've been saying, what I said last year, what I've been saying, that since 2023, well, 2023, we started getting the preview of what was going to be very surreal and dystopian years ahead. So it started off in 2023, then we had 24, we have 25, and we have 26, which are the three, the trinity, okay, of years where, let me just say this differently. If we were all in a VR, if we were all wearing VR sets and we were playing this incredibly complicated, amazing, realistic game, which is life as we know it, okay? Well, after 2026, it's when we remove the VR masks, right? The VR thingy. And we see that around us, the world is not what we thought it was. It's very, very different. I hope I'm making sense. But 2025, already 24 was weird, bizarre, toxic, crazy. A lot of things happening. Governments falling, more governments, more downfalls coming in this year. We saw all that. Natural disasters on steroids. Everything is on steroids in 2025. A lot. Yes, very much on steroids. 26 continues on, but 27 is when we enter this golden era where suddenly things slow down, die down. There's suddenly like peace. I'm talking about energies now, okay? Not just peace, world peace. There's going to be peace around us, and we're going to be so connected to spirit, to the source. We're going to be so ascended as entities, as beings that expect generally what we consider, we human beings consider as miracles. This is how it was shown to me. I forgot to mention this, how I worked. So I was going to do these predictions. If you remember, I was going to do them recorded. But every time I sat down, connected to my guides, to source, and I was meditating, I was getting more and more stuff. And in the end, I was like, I don't have time to record. Let me just do it live. So I would note down, write down, scribble down with really awful handwriting, anything that would come. Sometimes I would drive, I would get a download, I would meditate, download, I would be cooking, download, showering, download, and then I would run out and then write everything down. So as an example, I have pages and pages and pages of notes. And there's more. I could download more. There's more. Not I could. I have downloaded more, but we're going to have a part 2 for that because I just need to connect more and get all the info. All right. So let's start. Are you guys ready? I won't be able to see the chat while I'm talking, but let's start. Sociopolitics. Let's start with that. I'm not going to do by country, by continent or area. It's a bit of a mix and match. So we're going by sociopolitics. I do want to say that in part 2, I'm going to have a little bit more on Canada. By the way, I did predict about Trudeau. If you remember, in one of my lives, someone asked me my predictions about Canada, and I said, Trudeau is going down, and it's going to be ugly. So is the whole Macron situation. Well, Macron's out now. But unfortunately, it feels to me what I was shown is Marine Le Pen is going to step up. And as we know, she's far right. But that in 2025 in Europe is going to be the far right is going mainstream. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Anyways, let's start with the USA. Again, it's going to be here and there. What I was shown was more legal issues for Trump. So yeah, he's a convicted felon, everybody. Congratulations, USA. But doesn't matter what you voted, okay? It's not over for Trump regarding his legal issues and his legal he's going back to court. I'm seeing back to court about some, not yet. That might even be in 2026. A lot of my predictions, by the way, although we say they're yearly, right? They could also sort of like trickle into 2026. It always is usually 1 or 2 years. I don't know. My guides, I get those downloads. I'm not sure when those are going to happen. So let's just say 25, 26. But with another court hearing for Trump, I see it towards the end of the year, actually. I've said it and I'll say it again. I also see a third assassination attempt against Trump. I believe, can't be sure, but I believe it's going to be around inauguration, just before, just after. So around the 20th of January. So coming up very, very soon. A lot happening around that time, right? Around my birthday. Remember, it's the 21st. So we have inauguration on the 20th. 19th is when TikTok is officially banned by in the US. Although I'll say this. I believe that last minute or gets banned, but afterwards something steps in and changes that. And I do believe that. I do feel that you will still have access and will be able to use TikTok. Okay, so again, related to the elections, to the US elections, Trump, Kamala, Biden, all of it, and all of the, how I'm going to say this, scandals around the elections. So what I am seeing is in 2025, we are getting voter fraud exposure. Yes, we are. So it's coming in. I've been saying this for a while now, that Kamala was supposed to win. She was supposed to win, which is why a lot of us psychics saw Kamala leading the ship, right? But voter fraud exposure is coming up. It's happening. And who knows, maybe that's the court case, or these are the legal proceedings that I see around Trump, like the other ones. I've also written here, we will also see, this is US, but this is also EU. I'm hearing Australia, but I feel Australia is a little bit behind that. I mean, Australia will follow, but not yet. I see new legislations when it comes to immigration, gender modification, and AI. Things are going to get a lot stricter and a lot more controlling when it comes to immigration, gender modification, I can't even say the word, and usage of AI. How we use AI. There's going to be a whole debate about the ethics and the ethical use, basically, of AI. It's going to be a thing, okay? AI is here to stay, so we need to accept that. I'm for AI, but I'm also for putting or placing sort of like these safeguards when it comes to how you use AI, and it's not just about tagging things, because that's what they do on social media, right? They instantly it tags it as AI generated, but it's also more about who's able to use AI, how you're able to use AI, and what kind of information you feed AI. That's also another thing. I see civil unrest and mass violent protests, especially in the US and the UK. I've been saying this since last year. UK things have escalated and will continue to escalate, especially as I see British Prime Minister Starmer stepping down. And it's not because he's not doing it out of his own volition, but he will be forced to step down due to scandalous secrets. That's going to create a lot. Starmer has a lot of skeletons in his closet, that's for sure. What else? I've got my notes here. That's why I'm looking down. I have my iPad and I've just added everything in here. So another thing, I want to go back to LA, and it is somewhat related to the fires, somewhat a little bit, because what I vividly heard was, and I vividly heard it when I did this impromptu live on Instagram on Thursday. And while I was just on there and people were asking me questions, and then I suddenly got a download, and I heard mass exodus, because we were talking about the LA fires, mass exodus from LA and the USA. You've heard me say this before. I've said that celebrities are leaving and will be leaving the USA like rats jumping out of a sinking ship. We're already seeing it, but now it's going to be more of a mass exodus, more and more and more people. The reason why there's going to be a mass exodus from LA, it's not only just the celebrities that are leaving, it's because LA, what I was shown, and I was a little bit disturbed when I was shown this during my meditation, was that LA is going to be unlivable. It is going to be unlivable. Already we can see why it's going to be unlivable. The water is polluted, the ground is toxic. I told you that I see another fire, and this other fire is going to affect some kind of manufacturing unit or production unit, which will also make air toxic. Taxes are going to go up in LA. I mean, already the taxes are very high in LA. So it is going to be impossible for a lot of people who sometimes I need to do this. Whose homes were burned down to rebuild for many reasons, not only financial reasons, many reasons. Yes, you guys, I want to say smart city, they said 2028, Olympic Games, they said 2028. Well, I don't know about the Olympic Games, but what smart city? LA is going to become by the way, even though I've written down my predictions, I'm still downloading stuff. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what I was just shown, that LA is going to become It's not going to be the center of the film industry anymore. It's the capital of the film industry anymore. It's not going to be Hollywood anymore. It's going to be more. It is going to not even smart city. I want to say the future, the city of the future, but in a dystopian, matrixy way. Why? Because I see robot farms and I see people farms and I see other really, really dark things happening in that area. And I'm not saying next year, in 2 years, you guys, this is going to take some time, but LA is going to turn into, it's going to turn into a desert. Just describing what I'm shown. All right. A lot of things are symbolic as well, but literally, I believe this is what's happening, what's going to happen. I see it more of a desert, and I see all these panels, solar panels, or it's going to be very, very self-sufficient. And I'm hearing it's going to be an independent state, independent to the US. So, the government of the USA is not going to have power or say, or is going to be involved in what happens in that area. You guys, I don't want to freak you out. I'm just sharing with you what I'm seeing. But you guys, you have to realize that as of 2027, we will remember our lives and the world that we lived in as we will remember nostalgically, with love, and we're gonna have all, with all these memories, but it's not gonna be the same. This is not just LA. It's not gonna be the same. We human beings, we're elevating. We are ascending. So life is going to start to look very, very differently. What else? Okay. I see. I think I mentioned this: civil unrest and mass violent protests, especially US and UK. I said this before, said this ton of times. We talk about it a lot here. Celebrities are falling, and what is happening is we're going to have this civil war climate. Okay. We're already seeing it. It's going to get a lot worse, and it is going to be the people versus the rich and powerful, and the people wanting answers, demanding answers, and even going violent to get the information. It's not going to just be protests anymore, where people just go on the streets and they carry posters and signs and banners, and they chant. Protests are going to look very, very different. So they're going to take on more of a violent violent way of protesting, in a way. Back to the UK, I saw the Anglican Church scandals are going to be exposed. These are sex scandals. Archbishop is going to get in massive trouble, maybe even quit, step down. So that's going to be huge, and to be expected in 2025 and part of 2026. Scandals and a lot of things coming out when it comes to churches, religion, spiritual teachers, as I mentioned earlier on. I also see Poland. Poland was another thing that was just very prevalent in my visions and during my meditation practices. Poland plays a key role for EU in 2025, and it is a key location for negotiations. Now, initially, I felt that was related to the Russian-Ukrainian war, could be, but it plays a key role for the EU, because I kept seeing like the EU flag, Poland, and the flag of the EU, European Union. So I believe something else bigger is happening in Europe. And another prediction, I want to remind everyone that I've said that in a few years, 8 years tops, EU is going to break up. It's going to dissolve. It's not working out. It's a mess. So I don't know if this is related to that or the Ukraine. I wasn't given more information. Speaking of Ukrainian-Russian war, good news. Let's also mention the good news. I see some kind of ceasefire happening between the two countries, maybe around April, May. Not sure, but that I was feeling when, so how it's shown to me is when the snow starts melting in the area. So I believe it's around that time because it's very, very cold over there. That's good news. Now, whether it is a temporary ceasefire, we'll see, but there is going to be a ceasefire, which is going to last a little while, which is good, We want that. What else? Said this last year and I feel it's coming up now because I forgot to mention that March and April of this year are going to be historical months. I want everyone to keep calm. We have a little bit of time, but I want everyone to be prepared. Anything that needs to go from your life needs to go now before March or April, because things are going to get very volatile and things are going to be ripped away from you or taken away from you. Things are not working for you or serving you in a very, very not a good way. So a lot of historical, like on a world, on the world stage, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot. When I mean a lot, I mean every day, not a dull moment. Every day is going to be just crazy, okay, with everything that's going to come out, and definitely historical events happening. But what I'm seeing with the Ukraine-Russian war, I see it for happening, I believe, around maybe even around Easter time. Another prediction: Venezuela's President Maduro assassination attempt feels like revolution in that area. Just generally, that area, Latin America, South America, very volatile things. I see assassination attempts, protests, violence against women and kids. And one just in, by the way, just dropped in. Violence against women and kids, creating a whole mess down in that area. I'm also seeing uprise and enforcement of anti-woke movements in 2025. Yes, there's going to be very much this. This is worldwide, not the US, because the US is about to get a Republican president. I'm talking worldwide here. It's going to be the anti-woke movements right now, which are going to be prevalent. I also, speaking of violent, I've written down what I got was violent crimes against the woke and LGBTQIA plus community. This is going to get ugly. I'm telling you, it's going to get ugly. Unfortunately, I wish I had better news, but we are talking about sociopolitics. I do have some good news, but we're talking about sociopolitics. And unfortunately, with predictions, you get most of the predictions are usually the negative ones, but it's not a bad thing. The reason why we receive as psychics this information is because if the negative stuff, the bad stuff, is because we can still change the outcome. We can collectively change the collective energy. We can. I've talked about, you've heard me say, it's all about giving kindness, showing kindness, sharing the love, doing acts, like just generally doing acts of kindness and being a good human being can really change the collective energy. Terrorist attacks in France. I see something huge is going to start in France. Could be from a terrorist attack, or again, it's connected to politics and politicians, which is going to create a wave all around the EU and the EU in general and all around Europe. So that's not going to be good. And there's so many elections this year, very important elections happening. Germany has an election. I have a feeling something is brewing in Austria as well. Well, obviously the UK may have, since Dahmer is going down. Elections. Oh, I forgot. Where else do we have elections? EU, Hungary, I think, as well. But a lot of important things happening in the EU as well right now. Totally random, got this one yesterday, was automobile manufacturer Fiat ceasing manufacture, and I see working with China to produce spare parts, or just not a merge. It's not going to be like a merge with BYD, for instance, nothing like that. But I see some kind of synergy between, or China stepping in, helping Fiat in some way. This is huge, you guys. Fiat is an Italian automobile manufacturer. There are not many left in Europe except for the big ones. Well, we've all seen what's happening in Germany right now. So this is huge. This is going to create a lot more economic cracks in the European Union. So yeah, before I go on with the rest of my prediction, I just want to see what you guys are saying. And for just so many things that your address feels so friggin' confirming. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. Hello, Jesus. Nice to see you here, my darling. Where are you guys? I don't know. But you know why? Because they feel intimidated. Because the marginalized people are the ones with the biggest and the loudest voice. That's why. That's why. Do you see anyone who is privileged screaming, shouting, and people listening to them? No one listens to them. It's the marginalized people. That's why they attack them, in my opinion. It seems very bleak at Prairie. It does. It does. Listen, we have some good news. But again, it's usually the bad news that we get. But it's sort of, giving you a heads up, giving everyone a heads up. But again, it's because we can change the outcome. We can. So I don't know. All right, so let's go. Let's keep going again, because I see people entering the room. Show me some love, you guys. Show this channel some love. Show the mods some love, because they're doing so much work as well by liking this video, and do subscribe and do share it with your friends and your peers, you guys. That's another way of helping this channel grow. All right, let's get to the environment and weather section. I feel like I'm a newscaster. I'm a newscaster, and I'm reporting from the future. That's what I am. Maybe I should do a whole thing, where it's like breaking news, breaking psychic news. All right, I'm trying to lighten things up, as you know. I use humor a lot. I'm that type of person. It's a coping mechanism sometimes. All right, environment and weather. So what do we have? I mentioned earlier, another Californian fire and the earthquake that we haven't seen, which I predicted last year. A big one. I don't mean like a 6 point something. I mean a big one. So I asked my guides, I reconnected, and they said it's coming up. It hasn't happened. It's coming. I also saw issues with corn, specifically with corn crops, with corn. I don't know where in the world, but obviously if it happens in one part of the world, since everything, globalization and everything is connected, it is going to affect a lot of places and area. And I saw there is going to be issues with toxicity in crops in general, certain crops, but issues with corn. I don't know what it is. I kept seeing these cornfields, and they were all like burned down. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to burn down literally, but it is my guide's way of showing me that there's going to be something about the corn kernels, things, being toxic or absorbing toxicity could even be related to the water and with what kind of water they water the crops. Water is a big issue. Said this before, I'll say it again. No, and I've written it here, no drinking clean, pure drinking water available. There are going to be massive global issues with water. And this is huge and this is bad because if water is toxic and it's bad, you can't water the crops. Using that water, you cannot feed your animals. So this is going to be a huge hit for the farming industry as well, and the environment, and us human beings as well. I've also, okay, the other thing I was shown was mercury, the heavy metal, mercury or other heavy metal found in a river in Europe, which means issue with fish, issue with the vegetation around the river, issue with drinking water, with just, again, more issues. Mercury, I believe it's mercury or some other similar type of heavy metal, which means that we also need to start consuming less fish, by the way, because of the mercury levels in certain fish. Because the other thing that I was shown is like mercury levels are going up in our food, in our crops, in fish, etc. Australia, I have something for you. So I saw floodings in an area that is usually dry, that usually is very dry and have drought. So bizarre weather altogether in Australia, meaning, so if normally an area in Australia is, let's say the outback, it's quite dry, right? They might see hail over there, or they might see bizarre weather patterns, which is going to also affect farming, because I'm literally hearing that farming crisis in Australia as well. Okay, it's coming up. New Zealand, where's Data? Where's our mayor today? Is he here? No, he's not. Not that type of corn. I mean corn where you make your popcorn. Okay, so where's our mayor? He's not here. New Zealand, sheep and livestock hit by mysterious virus causes birth deformities to sheep. I saw sheep, but I also heard other livestock too. Starts in New Zealand. Could be quarantine. There could be a quarantine, so no exports, imports, especially exports for a while until they figure out what that virus is, what it's doing, which will also cause issues with, again, here we're talking about the meat industry, the dairy industry with dairy, etc. All right. The other thing that I saw was sleepy volcanoes awakening. That's Santorini is one of them here in Greece. Wow. I've been feeling this is going to happen like for years now. I've been feeling that volcano is going to come back to life and it's going to create havoc. And I saw it loud and clear, and I'm worried. I'm worried about what it's going to do to the Aegean, basically, or to the cichlids and the surrounding islands. And then I saw Japan too, volcano in Japan, or some kind of like eruption in Japan as well. I want to bring this up. Sorry, I just saw Norma's comment, but I'm bringing it up so people can see it, especially if you are in California. Okay, so just for people to be aware. Jesus, it's interesting you mentioned Mexico, because I will include in my part two, because there are two parts, because there's so many, and I keep downloading stuff. So with Mexico, I saw some. So there's going to be some kind of how am I going to say this? The way the drug cartels are working, or are how they're organized in Mexico, I see this is good news actually. I see something around that is going to change it. So could be like a big, huge one of the main drug lords of these cartels gets killed, assassinated. I don't think he's going to be arrested. It feels more unalived, or it could even be an accident. But and this kind of changed the whole how do you say the whole structure. I want to say, it's not the word I'm looking for, but I'm using this word now, the whole structure of how these drug cartels work. So there's going to be some kind of like change around that. And even like some of these cartels, some of these organizations that are dominating certain areas, I see certain areas being free of that. And people, I also see schools, something around schools, building new schools in these areas that were ruled or were under these cartels. So some positive things happening in Mexico, which is good news. I saw Hawaii, the Hawaii volcano. I feel it's not going to erupt, but I feel it's going to start, fuming, whatever the technical word is. So it is going to start breathing life, but not really dangerous just yet. We need more women in charge. Okay, I'm bringing up, and then I'll continue. I'm bringing up Normus. Thank you, Norma, for all the information and letting us know, because it's important for people to be aware of what's happening in that area, in your area in LA. Not south, not south. I feel towards north. Towards north is North California. North California is what I saw, like, but I cannot be 100% sure because they don't give me all the details. Trajectory. Nurse Lilith, I hope you're doing well. You're safe. Are you in LA? Are you in LA right now? I know. I'm with you. I'm with you, Gogosaurus. You cannot imagine. Unfortunately, I don't see this happening this year. Still, the animals are not top of anyone's agenda unless we, the people, do something about it, which is why I do so much volunteer work and do so much for the animals, because if we don't do it, no one's going to do it. I was even considering running in politics just for the animals, but then I'm like, I have to do it another way. All right. Okay, next one. Next topic. Science and medicine. I'm going to keep this. Oh, I like this. It keeps me on track. It keeps me, and I think it's easier for you guys. So this is weird, but listen to this. New type of edible plant is going to be made public that is lab made. Yeah. See? Because we're destroying the world, nature, we will start to have to create things in labs now. Sad. It's sad, but it feels so. I want to go back to this plant. This edible plant is like, how it was shown to me is like, it's this this plant that is able to absorb and create a lot of vitamins, minerals, everything that we need as human beings, almost to the point that if you just eat that as vegetables, instead of a salad, you have a salad of that plant, or you just eat that plant, you get all the nutrients and minerals and vitamins that your body needs. So it's almost like that. If you just ate that for the rest of your life, you'd remain healthy and be healthy. So that's huge. That's a major breakthrough. That is dystopian as hell. That's a little bit scary that we've made lambs in labs. We've made babies in labs. So we've done so many things in labs, and now even our food is made in labs. Take it as you will. I don't know what I think about it. There's going to be more. Why do I believe? Okay, I'll come back to that in a second, because I do believe I have some more that I didn't write down. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't publicize it. I don't, because you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about my ego. If it's something that interests you, maybe I can do a separate channel, a vlog style thing where I can just record if you guys are interested. But it's just that I do believe that charity should be silent. You should do charity, you should do work, but you don't have to advertise it, publicize, unless you need donations, anything like that. So, and I've always said, you guys, it's always linked down below in my description. If you want to help, you can donate. I do have the Fem for what's it called? Oh my God, Fem for Rescue, I think it's called. Anyways, my mind is elsewhere right now because I'm receiving things. It's down in the description box. It's a PayPal. So any donations that go through there, I choose and pick a local shelter, usually small ones, not big ones like Taki's, because he gets a lot of donations. So smaller ones that are really struggling. And I supervise, and I'll be on top of it, knowing where your money is going and it's going the right place. So it also, some of it might be me purchasing things for, let's say, during like fire seasons, because a lot of animals get burned. There's no place in the shelters. So they need like food, they need blankets, they need stuff like that. Anyways, I digress. Let's go to our next segment. We have celebrity and royals. We have several things. I'll start with a lighter one for the youth Swifties. I don't know how some Swifties are going to take it. I know Swifties, there's a little bit of a discord there. So Taylor Swift is getting engaged this year. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Another one is, this is not new. King Charles passes this year, if not 25, early 26. Harry and Meghan announced their split finally, because the charades have to end at some point. Wait, Val says fuzzy video. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, hopefully it will fix itself. You guys let me know. Let me know. Has it fixed itself, or is it still fuzzy? Very blurry. Okay, I don't know why, you guys. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Let me try and figure this out. Okay, okay, it's getting better. Okay. Sorry, you guys, I didn't realize it was fuzzy. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'll just drop myself and come back in 1 second. Just make sure that this is okay. Okay, is it better? Is it any better now? I don't know, the stupid technology. Okay, Norma says better. Okay, perfect. I don't know what happens. Didn't do anything, didn't touch anything. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize this earlier. Sometimes it's a StreamYard thing. You see, you have to go out and come back in. So back to my prediction. So finally, finally, Harry and Meghan are announcing they're split. Enough of the charades, enough with all these stupid rebrands and whatnot. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay, and speaking of royals, I'm seeing a royal. What I saw and I'm seeing is a royal member getting a stroke and not being able-bodied, meaning not being physically well, or I see them in a wheelchair, so I couldn't see their face. So I saw that they're a royal member on a wheelchair, but I couldn't see their face. It's not, that information is not made. Oh no, Blur is back. Damn it, what is going on? Hold on, you guys. Give me a second. Let me check what is going on here. Sometimes what is going on? Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to figure out why this is happening. No idea. Okay. If it gets worse, let me know. Stupid thing. Last few days was perfect. So royal member has a stroke and is not able-bodied. Okay. Benefit divorce is final because, as you know, I've said this, the deal was until 2025. It is 2025 and it will be officially out. Then we have, okay, I don't know who it is. I wasn't shown, but I see an A-list celebrity, a shocking death of an A-list celebrity. This is going to come out of nowhere. It's going to be it's going to create shockwaves in general. This is what I was shown. More deaths in relation to the diddler, you guys. We need to do an updated reading on him at some point. So blurry. It annoys me that it's blurry. So 1 second, I'm going to do this again. Why am I blurry? This is so annoying. I know you guys are so patient and you're like, we can hear you, but no, it annoys me though. Yeah, I think so. I think so, Elle. I don't remember, but let me just figure out what is going on here. What is going on? Why are you being an a-hole? Okay. It's crazy. Okay, I'll just do that and hopefully it's that will work. So everyone can still hear me, right? Hold on. I think I know what the culprit is. Oh no. Anyways, all right, doesn't matter. More deaths in relation to the diddler. Unfortunately, what does that mean? It means that when the case starts, I believe that more stuff is. So I do believe that the what's his name? Bambi is not Bambi. Bumblebee. What's his name? The Texan attorney that has all these cases against the diddler. Here's the thing. I'm seeing that they have all these aces in their sleeves. Okay, that's what I was shown. And more deaths in relation to the parties, diddler. etc., are gonna come out. They're not just gonna be conspiracy theories or rumors, blah blah blah. They're literally coming out. Busby, yeah, Busby. Did I call him Bumblebee? I'm sorry. Um. Oh, another thing, a scandal with Disney, the Disney Corporation, Disney Group, in relation to Bob Iger. I wish I had more information to give you, but that's what I'm getting. And this was like, this was one of the last predictions that I got before I started, putting them down, writing them down, etc. Scandal with Disney. All right, and then you guys, this is not. I'm telling you, we're gonna have a part two. We're gonna have a part two soon because there's more. Oh, Chan says, okay, now now everything's working. See, you cannot control technology. I don't know what to say. Okay, the next part, spirituality. I want to bring that up. Okay, glad everyone the video cleared up. So as mentioned before, we're all going to have this come to Jesus moment. Everyone is going to start connecting or reconnecting to their faith or to the religion that they grew up with, or the one that they're most, feel most connected to. More and more religious groups are going to pop up. Some are going to be legit religious groups, and some are going to be cults. Yes, because you can't have one without the other. So be aware of those. I also see Scientology, your time is coming, and I can't wait. So they showed me when I was shown the cults, like more and more cults. And then I asked my guides, and I'm like, okay, can you tell me about Scientology? Why is Scientology so untouched? It is a cult, and it's horrific what they do to these people. And they said to me, oh, sit tight, wait and see, because Scientology is going to be in the news at some point in the next 12, 14 months. What about? I do believe we have whistleblowers, all that, but they're going to slip up. That's what I'm hearing. They're going to slip up on something. So there is going to be some kind of evidence, proof of their practices, of how they're generally their business practices and their spiritual practices too. People returning back to their faith and to church. I mentioned that. Jesus is the man of the hour, the man of the month, the man of the year. So expect that. This is because those people who are not they haven't developed spiritually to the point that we all are, anyone who's here, or who does spiritual work, because of these ascension symptoms and the ascension and everything that's happening to the world, they will feel safer connecting or reconnecting to the religion that they grew up with, or the one that their parents are. So that makes sense, but it is also a good thing, because that's how these communities are going to start building up again, with the core, the strength of the community, or what connects everyone's going to be faith and spirituality as well. We're talking about listen, not all churches, pastors, priests, archbishops are bad people or people with an agenda, ego driven, money hungry, with a God complex. Not all, a lot of them are. A lot of them are, but not all of them. Okay. So these few people that are really people of God and people of faith, they're going to make a huge difference this year. Huge difference. Forget about politicians. It's all about your spiritual influencers, your spiritual teachers, and your spiritual leaders. Influencing, the one that we see on social media, dying. It's dying down. Social media, as you can see, is changing rapidly. TikTok is getting banned in the US. It's not going to be the same for the rest of the world. For the rest of us, it's not going to be the same with our American content creators. It's not. Facebook is going downhill. Meta in general, Instagram, Meta. I mean, X is a cesspool. It's disgusting. It's people are all jumping ship, and some of them are using Blue Sky now. So big changes around the social media platforms and social media in general. Yeah, so that's what I've got for you today. This is part one, but there's more to come. I'm still writing notes and still downloading things. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Thoughts, questions? Jesus says, no disrespect to religion, but spirituality is taking over more because people are tired of religion. Exactly. So the very few priests, pastors, etc., that make a huge difference are the ones that are going to stand out when it comes to religion and church and all that. Yes, spiritual people are going to be the next influences, the next leaders. And I'm happy about that. But again, there too, use discernment. Make sure, I'm talking to whoever's listening, just make sure that your soul, you feel inside you that the person, that spiritual leader, teacher, spiritual influencer is speaking to your soul, that it resonates to you, that things that they say are clear to you. They validate things inside of you, because we're gonna, with every wave, with every trend, with every change, you also get the people that want to, the grifters, the scammers, the liars, the cheats, all of it. You do not have to go to church to talk to God. God is everywhere. I agree 100%. 100%. And why do you need to give church money? Church is expensive. The rich churches are rich. They own land, they own property, they own gold. I mean, anyways. I don't want to get into all that, because that's going to create a little bit of a heated discussion. Not with you guys, not here in the chat, but sometimes replay crew. Not the Femi replay crew, the more, passerbys, let's just say. But to answer, wait. What I want to say? Oh, Danielle. Please tell me the stock market will continue to rise and we'll have a great year ahead. March, April, I said historical months for the stock market too. I see a slump. Yeah, it's this is like this fake high that the stock market is on. But it's all going to go down, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. Not a ceasefire, but things are going to calm down for a while over there. Things are definitely going to calm down, but not a ceasefire yet. And I've said this before. I don't, for anyone who hasn't heard this before, I was shown that Israel will not exist as a country in the future. And speaking of Israel, though, I also see troubles for Netanyahu. I believe Netanyahu is on his way out of the earth plane. Not now, but in the next maybe couple of years, he's out. Oh, thank you, Norma. Yeah, it's interesting. Download is very draining, and I was today. I felt like I had a fever. I felt lightheaded the whole day. I was like, "Am I coming down with something?" I've had enough of all these illness. I was sick for 3 weeks in December, but it's the downloading. It's the downloading. So I did a little bit of grounding. I drank a lot of water. I did my meditation and grounded, and I feel better now. So yeah, sometimes it can be a lot. Yeah, I wanted to say that. So it's not that's not coming back, meaning in the way that we had it in 2020. But there is going to be a new virus, not the one that's going around that they say is coming out of China. There's going to be a new virus. It's not a new virus. It has been around, but it's new as to how it's now spread. It's not now. It will spread and um, how strong the symptoms are going to be, I want to say, but there's not going to be a lockdown. There's not going to be a lockdown as like in 2019, 2020. I do see certain areas maybe use having like mask mandates enforced and things like that, but certain areas it's not going to be worldwide as it was before. No. He needs to annex Canada, and that means full-blown war. What is he? The delusion of it all. But guys, we've got to think of this, whoever it is, it's like, forget it. Even if Trump was called something else and he was someone else, but he was spewing all the stuff that he is, right? Even if he was belonged to another party. Um, let's say that we have something to keep us entertained this year, okay? The political scene. See it that way. I'm totally entertained by the stuff that comes out. Uh, no, he's going to tell you to drink the toxic waste of water that's down there. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I mentioned it earlier that my guide showed me. This was back in a few 5 days ago. So I saw 7 days before it's contained and under control, and it will feel safe in the area. So 7 days from the day it started. So I do believe that's either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Mm, I wish he was stepping down, but I do see, just like with Trump, I see that Putin, and it's been like the rumors have been going around for several years now that he has health issues. A lot of people claim that he used stunt doubles, clones, whatever you want to call them, deep fakes, in these public appearances. Could be. It's possible. It is possible. Putin will be a little while longer. So a few years ago, I made a prediction, and I literally saw that he was going to exit the world. He's going to die basically. It didn't happen, but are we sure it didn't happen? That's the thing. The thing about Putin is he's a very smart man, and he does put protection. He shields his energy from us, from remote viewers peeking in, from us peeking in. So it's very hard for me to connect to. It's almost impossible for me to connect directly to his energy because he knows what he's doing. He's shielding himself. And every time I try to use remote viewing as well to kind of like view around Moscow and around where he or wherever he is, I'm blocked. I'm blocked. So he may have passed. He may have passed because that was what I was getting in 23. And they're using a combination of AI and clones, stunt or doppelgangers. Mm, mm-mm. Wars cost a lot of money, first of all. Second of all, just because Trump woke up one morning and decided, whoever the president of the United States is, and decided that they want to invade a country, annex a country, do whatever, it's not as simple as that. You're part of the UN. Okay. There's a lot of, it's not he, and also again it costs a lot of money to go to war, and you need the resource. Look at Russia tried with Ukraine. They ran out of resources. They had to bring in North Korean soldiers. They've run out of like planes and tanks and stuff. He won't things in 25, just to make my US families and friends feel more at ease, if you will, sort of. Things are looking a lot more grim for the EU, for Europe, than for US this year, energetically. So I don't think you're going to war. It's not a political discussion. This is prediction. So you know, if you support Trump, great. If you don't support Trump, great. But let's not make it into political discussion, because I don't want to bring in this toxic discussions and stuff here. Of course you can. But if you want to see success with your business, if it is connected or related to technology or um, society, or for services to help people and stuff, it's going to do great. It's going to do great. Of course, you can start a business at any time. Just make sure it's not when you launch or when you establish your company, make sure, or your business, make sure it's not during a retrograde period, Mercury retrograde. Um, yeah. Let's all respect. I mean, we have pro Trump, against Trump here in the chat. Let's keep it civil. We are all entitled to our own opinions. There's no bad. There's nothing. No right or wrong here, okay? Because this is based on your opinions and based on your beliefs, and we respect that. We respect each other's opinions and beliefs and all of it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm not sure. Could be. I don't know. I'm not picking anything up about that. Can't start with Congress approval. Okay. Listen, economically, like the economy of the major Western world countries, so America, Canada, Europe, um, especially those, it's not going to get any better before 2027. Yeah, unfortunately, regardless um who wins elections or who runs the government, it's just everything is connected. Everything is connected. Oh, another thing that I'm seeing is I saw another disruption in the supply chain in 2025. I forgot to mention, because this is for these are the predictions for part 2. And I believe it has to do with some kind, again, natural disaster or disaster that happens in an area location where it, like, the supply chain will be disrupted. Could be because of China invading Taiwan or reclaiming or claiming Taiwan. Did I mention that? I did, didn't I? Yeah. So it could be because the supply, well, China is one of the major players when it comes to manufacturing and production. of goods. So could be that. So I do see issues with supply chain. Hi Peapod. Hello, hello. You missed most of it, but you can watch it on replay. Yeah, and presidents can't start conflicts without Congress approval, without the UN, without it's not like otherwise any crazy man. That's why Putin does whatever he wants because he is his own little bubble, right? His like he rules that part of the world, and he does what he wants when he wants. And if you don't do what you want, then you get pushed off of a balcony. That's his mo. No, I have to do readings. I have to read into that and connect to that in order to answer that. Oh, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. So I do see there's going to be a little crash, Bitcoin, and then it's going to take months before people trust um, cryptocurrency again. Because there is going to be, I did see, and this is not a prediction that I got now or during these couple of weeks. It was because I had a reading with a client and it came up in the reading about her investments and whatnot. So and then I specifically started looking into it, and what I got was it's the Bitcoin or the value of Bitcoin. A lot of questions are going to rise around there as well, because who regulates it? How is it being regulated? A lot of question. It is going to create some kind of crash as well. So that's what I got. I mean, what can I say around that? But it's going to come up again. It's going to recover after a few months. It's not going to be a perma crash, but it's not even a crash, but like a big dip. That's what I see. No, I didn't get anything specific for Texas, but if I do for part two, I will ask my guides to give me some information. But the world is huge. Like, it's so hard for me to say, okay, let's look at Italy now. Let's look at Texas. Let's look at Washington. It's not. It's just I receive what I'm supposed to receive, and I'm supposed to share with you guys. So, and that's why a lot of times predictions may vary with other psychic mediums because they receive different information. The guide will split the predictions and the information that we receive among all of us. So, what we should get rid of, we shouldn't do anything. We if you should or you shouldn't. Yeah, it's everything. Relationships, beliefs, anything old that is not working for even an old relation or a relationship that's gotten old and stale is not going anywhere. Out, getting rid of. A job that you've had for a long time and you feel that career wise it's not taking you anywhere, gone. A car, even like old car, you have a sentimental emotional attachment to a car that's old or belongs to someone, you'll get rid of it. So it's going to be a lot of like, yeah, let's make room, let's make space so we can work on ourselves and start building on new things and building on new plans, building on new lives, building on new homes, for instance, like in LA. Um, there's a lot of that. So, but first you have to purge before you start building or rebuilding. Yeah, I'm saying that even if it disappears for a while, it will come back. They will save it somehow. I'm seeing it will come back. So I don't know how it's going to work. So if the Chinese mother company of TikTok, BitDance, I think it's called, decides to, I don't know how it's going to work unless TikTok is able to, or the US hosts the servers or the data of TikTok of the American TikTok creators. Maybe that's the solution, or unless there is an American fund that invests in TikTok so they have somewhat of control of what's happening in the company. Something along those lines will save TikTok in the end. And it's very broad question, but do you ever see any kind of justice for my people, the Kurds? That's, you guys have had such a long history and such, it's so it's so bad generally just in that area, what's been going on and the Kurds. And I don't see now something specific, but what I will do is I'm going to meditate on it and ask my guide. So part two, I'm just writing it down. So in part two, I can give you a little bit more information as to what comes through. I've written it down. Yes, I did. I did some more coming up in part two. American military is preparing for war with China in 2027. Sure. I'm not sure about that. China's definitely going into war, or it's just is going to create a whole lot of mess for everyone when they start poking Taiwan. And we all know China is behind and is helping Russia on the down low. So this is going to be interesting to see how that develops. But I will look into it. I will look into it. What else are you guys saying? Is the video okay? Is the image okay? Will there be a turning over or improvement of the insurance industry in the US? I do believe that there may, what will come, not soon enough, I believe. What they will do is implement some kind of like safeguards or laws or safeguards where the contracts, the reason why I'm pausing is because I'm connecting. So I'm just receiving information about this specifically. It could be regarding the policies that you sign as a consumer, that the small print or the fine print is more, and the language or the jargon as well is going to be changed in order for people to be 100% aware of what they get from their coverage and their policies, insurance policies. And so they're making it so, for instance, like for older people who won't sit there and just read a policy, is for them to be more aware of what they're covered for or whatnot. And I do believe, no, regarding these big insurance groups and companies, I don't see other massive changes. But what I do see is smaller insurance not collectives. I'll call it collectives. There's another word for it. It's coming down. I'll give it to you in a second. But sort of like small insurance, like little collectives, where what they're gonna do is like, it's like a pool. So they're like mini pools of where they collect the money from the insured, and what they do is they make sure that that money is where it should be. It's invested where it should be, because at the end of the day, what do insurance companies do? Is what they do is the money that they receive from all these policies and from us, all right, who insure our cars, our homes, our lives, our kids, our dogs. What they do is they're only entitled to keep 10% of that amount, and the rest of the 90%, it goes to a some kind of escrow account, and then from there on, some of that money goes into investments, because that's how they get, they get more money and interest up. So these little alliances, like insurance alliances, that's the word that just came down, are going to make sure that your policies and your covers is like it's everything is on track, it's legal, and that if anything happens, they may even have surveyors at hand where they, survey and they examine the damage. So, like, I mean, independent surveyors and stuff, just to make sure that there are no um, what's it called, unfairness, and unfairness when it comes to when you claim from your insurance company, or when you know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I don't know why I can't speak anymore. I feel really lightheaded at the moment. What is going on? Why is there argument in the chat? Is there, you guys don't fight in the chat. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to keep up. I think you are losing CapCut. If you're losing TikTok, or if you lose TikTok, you lose CapCut too. I don't know if Canada is. I do know that there are discussions about, there are some big funds, and they are trying to find a solution regarding TikTok. China knows what they're doing. They don't want to sell the whole of TikTok. Maybe they just maybe they sell the technology, the algorithm to America, and there is a copy, what's it called, copy paste TikTok. All right. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if there's anything else. Did I miss anything? Insurers have insurance costs. You think Ukraine join NATO? No. They're not going to dare do that, because they know what that means. What I mean is that for as long as Putin is around, I don't see that happening. Ukraine joining NATO. 25 and 26, hang on to what you can do. Lada said 25 and 26. Hold on to what you can grab to read it through. Exactly. So they have to make it more clear. They have to make it more clear without using all the jargon and all that, for people to understand what exactly they're getting from their policies, and what does it cover or not cover. That's the thing. There's a lot of a lot of blah 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 blah. People think, because insurance brokers, insurance companies will sell, they just want to sell, right? So yeah. Lada is Astrolada. She has a YouTube channel. She's incredible. She's an astrologer. She is from Serbia, I believe. She's Serbian. She has a big YouTube channel. And she brings all these amazing astrologers from US, from Europe, etc. And she does these like yearly predictions. You can sign up for her newsletter. It's Astrolada is her YouTube. I'm so sorry to hear that, Danielle. I'm telling you, it's just BS. It's BS with the insurance companies. Who's 25? All right. Yeah, well, I was sharing a story about United Healthcare on Friday on the members live. I saw literally on TikTok, speaking of TikTok, I saw a video where there was a doctor, a surgeon, and she was so upset and she made a video. She was in scrubs, still in scrubs, and she said, I was just in surgery. My patient was under. I was just about to make these incisions, and I got the call in the operation room from the insurance company saying cancel the surgery, we're done, we're not covering it. And that woman was under and was about to have a double mastectomy. That woman will woke up from her from anesthesia, expecting to have been done with all that, which I'm sure psychologically she really had to prepare for this. Okay. And they told her, sorry, we couldn't do it because it's not covered. And you remain with the cancer in your it infuriates me. See the things that you do, things that you guys come into your, you know what? I want to invite all my American friends. You're welcome in Europe. Open arms. If you come to Greece for as long as I live here, because you never know in a few years where I'm going to be, I'm a nomad. You know me. I might be in the US. No, I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, if you come to Greece, open arms. I'll help you out. We'll hang out. It'll be fun. Just saying. Because here we have state insurance. I have my public insurance, and I also have my private insurance for my kids and stuff. You guys hardly spend any money on doctors or surgeries or anything, hardly, because most of it is covered by insurance. If my private insurance doesn't cover it, whatever my private insurance doesn't cover, my state insurance will. Oh, in Vienna too, in Austria too, because I lived there for 10 years. So I could even use my Austrian insurance if I wanted to. So yeah, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of issues here in the healthcare system. Here, I mean, in Europe, in Greece, in England, in Austria, a lot of issues, but at least you know that if you need surgery, you can get your surgery, right? You'll get what you need at the time you need it. Well, enjoy it. Have your Walmart Hermes purse red. Love it. Just in case it's over. Question, is CapCut and TikTok from the, yes, they are, and Lemonade as well. So if TikTok is permabanned, then so CapCut and Lemonade are out too, unfortunately. We must have gratitude for what we do have, because exactly. Some other mediums said on an underwater city was discovered outside Athens. Do you see? It's funny you said that, because I don't remember if I said it on the members live or the Instagram live. I've been doing so many lives lately that I mentioned that I did see. I was shown Atlantis, like validating or getting proof of or evidence that Atlantis did exist. So it could be that they discover ruins. Do you think it will be outside? I don't know if it's going to be outside Athens. I need to write that down and do some more spiritual investigating around that and find out. I always, since I was a child, I always had this fascination about Atlantis. Maybe in a past life I was an Atlantean. I even did a whole presentation at school about it, where I had to speak in front of the whole school, on stage with a microphone and whatnot, and I had slides and everything about Atlantis. Um, so there, I have this weird connection with Atlantis, and I've been feeling it for several years now that you know what? Once Atlantis is going to be discovered, that I really feel that's when the gates of the golden era are going to open up. So yeah, I'm excited, but I want to look more into this. Yes, Maragda, thank you. Hit the like button, everyone. Will Serbia will be fine this year politically? You mean politically? It's a mess. I literally see like as soon as I saw your question, what I was shown is like parliament and politicians beating the crap out of each other and throwing chairs at each other during in the parliament, which is crazy. So Serbia, what unfortunately what I do see is I do see um, natural disaster, some kind of storm. So I'm literally seeing it now. It's some kind of storm that creates floodings, dams break. It's going to be river dams are going to break and stuff. So I do see some areas are going to be affected. Politically, it's going to be a mess. They're fighting. It's very corrupted. Rosie's a doctor. I'm sure you've seen a lot of cases where they reject or refuse to cover someone's treatment or surgery, which is awful. It's inhumane. It's inhumane. So Rosie is a doctor in California. You cannot do your job properly. That's true. I'm trying to find your questions. 5 more minutes, you guys, and then we'll just wrap it up. What happened to Sunny Houston husband indicted for fraud, and will Sunny keep her job on The View? I don't know. I have to do reading on that. Let me do a reading on that next week, next live. Can you come back and ask me this question? Thank you. I'm literally tired because I was meditating a lot today. Phew. That's a good attitude. That's an amazing attitude, Pamela. We should all adopt this attitude towards we love this world. We chose to be here for a reason. At this time at this time in history, we decided, our souls, our spirits decided to be here, and there is a reason for that. So we should love the fact that we're here, and we're here to work. We're here to help the collective. We're here to work, help the world. So one step at a time, one day at a time, that's for sure. You should. Mykonos is amazing. Don't go July, August. Don't go July, August. It is a tourist trap. It's massively expensive. It's a ripoff. Like the best time of year to go to Mykonos, I've been a lot of times. I would say May and mid to end of September are the best times. It's not as crowded. You can still find lounges on the beach without paying like 150 euros for like a set of like sun loungers. It's a lot better. You don't have to wait in line to go and eat at a restaurant. So much better time of year. Manifest it, put it, create a vision board on that. You will love Mykonos. The beaches, the waters are amazing, the food's amazing, but it's so expensive, and it's just, I don't know, it's turned into this like fake. It's all about looks and fake. What I'm trying to say is like Mykonos used to be, back in the day, 20 years ago, it was like this beautiful island where all these like rich people would go to. But this was normally like the rich people the very few who knew about Mykonos, and they would just go with their yachts and they would visit their friends who had villas there and whatnot. And it was just, a very beautiful, fun party island. But now it's just become this huge thing. Everyone is going to Mykonos. You see it all. And it's just a small, tiny island which has been overpopulated, overbuilt, over all of it. And it's not relaxing to me. It's if you want to go partying. That's what you're gonna get. But if you want to go party and then relax a bit, there's none of that. There's none of that. It's just you're on the go, you're partying. Yeah, you guys manifest it. Come. So instead of me doing a tour to the US, which is my plan for 2025, if everything goes well and we're still all here and sane and whatnot. Um, but why don't you guys, the better thing is, why don't you guys come here? We do meet and greets and tours here, and then I'll be your personal private guide and I'll take you to the places, not the tourist traps. I'm going to take you to the good places. Yeah, yeah. When I was in Austria, when I lived in Austria and I gave birth to both my kids, I was able to have maternity leave for 2 years. You can get up to 3 years maternity leave in the EU, and you get paid for it. You get benefits for your child. So I took, with my daughter, I took 2 years maternity leave. And then with my son, initially I took 2 years, but then I just wanted to go back to work. I couldn't do this whole, mummy thing with two kids. So I went back after a year. But it's super. And they also, even the dads can get 3 months paternity leave, and the government subsidized their salary. They subsidize 70% of their salary. So, but the whole world's a mess. All right. Ooh, wait. Every time I'm on a live, have you guys realized, have you noticed that every time I'm on live, something happens during the time I'm on speaking live? 4.5 Earth right now, earthquake. I didn't know earthquake, Norway um, was standing over these, like, tectonic plaques or that create these earthquakes. Wow. 4.8. I hope, do you feel it? I hope everything's okay. Annabelle. Okay. All right. I don't know. I think we'll just wrap it up. Sorry, I was way behind in the chat. Yeah, you guys set it up. Why don't you set up a group thing? You can charter a plane and you can all come here, and then we can book you a nice hotel, and or all of us, we can book ourselves in a nice sort of like um, resort of some kind or hotel. That would be cool. But that would be the retreat, because I want to do these. I've talked about it, the retreats, but it's so hard for me to do it on my own. I'm a one woman. I've got so many things to do, and it's so hard. And I don't want to do half-assed things. I want to do. I have a Virgo rising. A lot of things. What blocks me is my perfectionism, or my just the fact that I overanalyze everything and I can't relax. Do you know how long my thumbnails are not perfect? I'm 100% aware of that. But do you know how long one stupid thumbnail takes me? It can take me up to 2 hours, where I'm sitting there on my couch or on my desk, and I'm just like overthinking everything. How big the font is, how small the font is, which font I'm going to use, what color I'm going to use. Crazy. I have to stop myself. And then I give up because I get tired, and I'm like, I'll never put that thumbnail up. And then I'm like, sometimes after a live, I might change the thumbnail. I'm crazy like that. I don't know. All right. I see everyone loves that. Yeah, you guys, if the SHIT hits the fan over there, you're welcome in Europe. In Greece, 100%. In Europe, you're welcome. We love you. We want you here. Yeah. Kurd, yes, a Kurd, yeah. The culture, the food, yeah, it's very, very close for sure. Yeah, the Kurds, the poor Kurds, the whole Turkish Kurd thing, it's just I'm sorry about that. Everyone's like, well, the Virgo rising. I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy. And people think that Virgos are like, no, 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 no. If you have your sun in Virgo, you're actually lucky because a lot of these like Virgo traits are not as prevalent. They're not as strong. But Virgo risings, oh my God, you get all of it. And I have this crazy thing where I can be like super pedantic about things when it comes to me, not other people. I'm not judgmental, just a little bit judgmental, a little bit this judgmental to my people, like family and like really close friend, tiny bit, but the judgmental because I want to improve them. Like I want to help them by improving them. But here's what the risings, like Virgo risings, like Virgo risings, we're not going to get all of these like issues, health issues that Virgo suns have, which are bloatiness, digestion issues, IBS issues, anxiety, panic attacks, neurological issues because of anxiety. That's Virgo suns, but Virgo risings are getting the perfectionism, the the brain never stops, never relaxes. We don't know how to relax. But the funny thing with me is because I'm also Aquarius, that I have this thing where there's certain facets and elements and places in my life that are super structured, organized, and, you know, good. And then there's the other side, which is chaos. Yeah. Organized chaos. I like chaos. That's the thing. I like chaos, but I also like to be organized and I don't know. I gotta say, I'm weird. All right. What more earthquakes? No, there was another earthquake here in Mexico. A sixth one. Wow. The earth is rumbling. The earth is reacting. All right, you guys, we've been here for 2 hours. I think this was eye-opening regarding 2025 and what is coming up. I do, again, reminder, there's going to be a part two, not this month. I want to give it like a month or two, but definitely there's more, and which I've written down. I'll write down. I just want to collect my thoughts. I don't want to overburden you with stuff. They're not all great. That's why I don't want to make this sort of like, heavy and everything. We'll just take these things in doses, really. Yeah, I make the earth move and under your feet. I just changed the lyrics. I know those are not the lyrics, but yeah, it was wonderful, you guys. Another wonderful live stream. A few things before you go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. If you want to book a reading, availability now is in March, you guys. So book ahead, make sure you book. The other thing that I wanted to share is, yes, I also have a subscription. This is separate to YouTube. This is a subscription where you pay a monthly subscription, but what you get is monthly and weekly emails in your inbox, predictions, tarot readings, forecasts, what are they called? Like, oh my God, inspirational emails as well. You get discounts on crystals, you get discounts on readings, you get access to, you're able to get emergency readings as well within 72 hours. There's a lot of perks. Everything is down below. Whew, I'm tired now after all this. But I want to say, you guys, that I love you. Thank you for all the support. Listen, might not be the greatest year of all, but don't forget, you've got a beautiful community over here. And also, aside from the online world, which is YouTube and, social media, remember, you do have people around you. You do have loved ones. You do have people who care for you. You're not alone. At the end of the day, material things, all of it, yeah, home is very important, having a roof over your head. But what would we do without love? We can rebuild, we can fix things, we can, material goods, we can reclaim, we can have, we will lose, we will gain. But love is different. So remember that you do have people who love you, whether they're just these strangers online on a community called Femtaro, whether it is in your actual life. So it's very important, you guys, to keep positive, share the love, be kind, because this is how we change the collective energy. This is what we put out in the world, and we can definitely change some of the bad stuff that are happening right now. I love you all, you guys. Until next time, don't forget that this month my schedule is going to be off on YouTube. I will be doing a lot more videos and a lot more live. So make sure that your bell notifications are on here on YouTube so you don't miss a beat. Love you all. Take care. Bye, everybody. Till next time.